What you all are saying is no, they are, and the data shows that there have been inroads among black men. I want to ask why.
Because a lot of black men are reading and then like looking up their own facts instead of just listening to who you guys and just like thinking, oh, we should all think the same because we are just black. What's going on, the Nova Squad? Welcome back to the channel. So, as you can see in the title of this video, we are actually watching this backlash that Stephen A. Smith is getting when he actually had commented about Jasmine Crockett. If you guys don't know who Jasmine Crockett is, she is the representative of Texas, and she is currently trying to run again, but as of right now, she's losing a lot of the popular vote as far as like do the people really want her as the representative, especially when she has been constantly had embarrassing herself and constantly trying to yell at people and over talk to people, thinking that that's how you bring an audience. But then you need to actually have a level of intellect to actually gravitate a lot of people when it comes to you trying to explain why your side is should be the best side, where you don't even bring in actual facts. You just said, oh, racist, and etc., etc. So this clip is coming from the Native Land Pod. I never actually had heard of them, but I was told that there's this one particular group is really like trying to double down that Stephen is like a double agent or something like that. So we're gonna get right into it, and we're gonna talk about it and discuss it. So without further ado, let's get right into it.
I think this is a really good opportunity. We talked about the invasion of cities and colleges. I want to throw to one more example. Someone who teeters on the edge quite a bit, shows up talking out of both sides of his mouth. He had this to say recently about Jasmine Crockett. Sometimes you get attacked by your own.
Our Jasmine Crockett chooses to express herself. I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done, as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable,
Exactly.
and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
He's got to deal with black woman issues
Oh my God.
writ large, and whatever self-hate exists within him.
That is self-hate.
I've never seen a clip of him where he actually praises a black woman.
That's what I'm saying. He's got
well.
black woman issue.
Like this is again one of the things that I never even understood when it comes to these people. Like, and when I say these people, I mean like people that don't want to understand why their own people is not thinking the same way that they are thinking. It's because like just because when one of us is trying to criticize ourselves and then trying to see the fault in us, it's not self-hate. It's just trying to point out the fault in what we are doing. Because if we're not trying to criticize ourselves, that is an act of hate. That just goes to show we don't love ourselves enough to try to figure out why we are talking or actually trying to express why we are bringing them issues into the matter. Because Jasmine Crockett is known to lash out people, making videos in her office, making tech talks, very like focusing on trying to be an entertainer instead of trying to be a lawmaker. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people don't want her to be the representative of Texas anymore. Because the past year or two, so she just has been an embarrassment. And I'm not saying that because I hate black women. No, I'm just saying it because it's just a real thing. Because a lot of people really want to have someone black, well, especially in the black community, wants to have someone to represent themselves. I'm not saying that is a bad thing, but you got to do it in a way that is professional. You have to stand above of what the people think, not being part of the stereotype. You have to rise above it and then be better of what people already think of you. I do believe if she was more intellect instead of her, screaming and cussing out people, I would want to sit down and then listen to what she got to say. But it's always the cussing, the name calling. Like, come on, man. Like, you can't move with people when you constantly do that.
He's got to deal with. But
For those who are listening, that was Stephen A. Smith commentating about Jasmine Crockett's lack of work. For context, there was a poll that was recently done, and Jasmine Crockett's approval numbers amongst the American people rival Barack Obama's in 2008. So just for context, he is on an island unto himself. Because
Or
people,
caping for some
because
other
people,
element.
because people see her largely working on our behalf. And I also want to say, we recently had Jasmine Crockett on. It was on my solo pod, and Jasmine is on the show talking about having to go get fit for a bulletproof vest. So this is not the time for this.
Yeah.
And it is very dangerous for this. So I hear you even on the danger, even on campuses, but I wanted to bring this in because this is the kind of messaging they're hearing on their sports platforms, on talk radio, all the time. There is a growing divide between black men and black women.
Oh my God.
And I think that some of them are also leaning more conservative in their talking points.
But like, that's the thing that I do not understand. It's just like, you're worried about how people be talking about her, but then when she does the exact same thing, you guys want her to say, "Oh, she's in the right." I mean, like, again, everyone has their opinion on their beliefs and the thought processes, but then like, you can't just be upset when the same, or no, with the opposite side is doing the exact same thing. Like, for instance, people were always trying to say, oh, Trump always talks about Rose O'Donnell, how the way she looks, or like try to like talk crazy towards women. Yeah, he has said some crazy things, but when someone on your side, on the left side, does the exact same thing, you guys just completely ignore it. And it's just I'm not really sure if you guys. Well, it's kind of obvious. You guys are scared of being criticized by your own people. You don't want to try to seeing you are going against a person because you're thinking that you don't agree to what they are saying. Just because you don't agree with a person, it doesn't mean you are going against them. Like, that's what I never understood on the Democrat side. You guys are so scared to call your own people out when you go out of line, or when you don't even like come across as what you are supposed to be. You guys are for, life and love, but you don't promote fathers in their homes. You say, oh, everyone deserves to be in their own spaces, everyone should be accepted, but you want men in women's sports, men in women's spaces. That's the part that I don't get.
Texas Texas has this open carry law. Governor Abbott is such a dangerous, problematic person.
He sets up a false argument.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
How much attention is this taken away from you getting whatever you need for your district? The Republicans control the House of Representatives, the Senate and the White House. They not letting her get ish for her districts. And so the best she can do right now, not just for her district, but for the country, is to speak up and hold them to account at every single level.
She does.
Are there black men that's listening to Stephen A. Bakari?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
but they would take that and take it seriously.
There are people who like
white men.
Yeah, and they think that
white men.
They think that Jasmine Crockett.
Are there black men that's listening to Stephen A. Bakari?
Yeah, of course. I mean,
but they would take that and take it seriously.
There are people who like
white men.
Yeah, and they think that they think that Jasmine Crockett talks with her neck.
No, I'm not just saying
it's too loud and snaps her fingers and all that, and they caricature her like he's doing.
Yeah.
And so my point though is that I didn't like the back and forth with Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace or whoever it was, right? But
Nancy Mace is the one that got violent. She was the one that said, "Let's take it outside."
I know them both.
No, first of all, Nancy Mace. If you guys don't know what she is referring to, I will tell you. Nancy Mace was trying to get men out of females' restroom because, like, it is, again, men shouldn't be up in a woman's space. But then, like, if I can recall, Nancy Mace is actually a survivor of. I can't say the actual name because YouTube is going to flag it. And she was trying to fight the idea of like why she believes that those laws should not be passed. But then Jasmine Crockett just said, "Oh, that's just bigotry, or that's just racist of you saying that," which has nothing to do with race. It's just the event of her explaining and expressing her actual tragedy, basically. or what she had to or what she had to go through as a child and such. So I mean, that whole argument, it was for a different reason, and then they just want to point that out because Nancy's white. Like that's literally the only thing.
Very well.
Taylor Greene.
I know them both very well, and that just because I was in the legislature, so I look at that totally different. However, I will tell you that there is a through line between the Ice Cubes and the Jason Whitlocks and the Stephen A. Smiths, and these individuals, and Ice Cube may be slightly different than the other two, but these individuals have been around since we have been on this freedom struggle. There have always been individuals out there which exhibit behaviors of charlatans who utilize, some people are in it for the change and some people are in it for the change, right? And I think that that's indicative. And they find the easiest path to the front of the line. And Stephen A. Smith is someone who doesn't have the depth to talk about House oversight or the appropriations process, right? And how you're able to bring resources back to your community, or what Jasmine is doing. So he rather lampoon her, or instead of having a constructive conversation. And so I've said what I've had to say about Stephen.
A constructive conversation, brother? Are you serious? A constructive conversation. Jasmine is the one who's cussing folks out. Now, again, we can all say Stephen A. Smith be yelling and such about, on his takes, whatever, but when he speaks, it makes sense. He's a guy that looks on both sides, which why I do appreciate Stephen A. Smith. He criticizes the left. He criticizes the right. He praises the left side. He also praises the right. When it's time to actually praise them or praise either side, rather, well, give them a credit. Like, for you to try to say, like, oh, Stephen A. Smith should have just sat down with her and then have a real conversation, why can't you tell that to Jasmine, when Jasmine and Nancy Macy were yelling back and forth when Jasmine said, oh, you don't talk to me like that, girl. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. You see, this is what I was talking about when you don't want to criticize Jasmine because you don't want to see yourself as, like, a fraud because both the guys are black. That's literally what it is. Like, it's common sense, man. Like, Jesus Christ.
In my book, anywhere I can, I don't have a lot of use for him in the political dialogue. I think that there are individuals who he matriculated with at Winston-Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
It's so disheartening to me. It's frustrating, one, because anytime we speak on this, it's like we, man haters and all this. But I feel such confidence in black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly Democrat. We're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are, and the data shows that there have been inroads among black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating to me, and it feels
because a lot of black men are reading and then like looking up their own facts instead of just listening to you guys and just like thinking, oh, we should all think the same because we are just black. Why is it an issue to criticize us or try to see what we can do better? Why do you want to hold us back as if like we are just this perfect thing? Well, then if we're perfect, why isn't Chicago doing great? If we're so great, then why are we so far behind in schools, whatever? Yeah, we can all say, some schools don't really attend to a lot of the black kids. It's because they don't want to engage in the schools because we are raising our young kids to focus on raps and being influencers more than just being in school. Me doing YouTube is just my hobby. It's not an actual job. Like I literally just came from work, sat down with my family, ate and everything. I took a shower and then I sat down here and then just doing YouTube like once a day, if not twice. But like, it's not a main focus. It shouldn't be a main thing, and that's what I just feel like this is not really being taught into our own community because like You want to hold us back to such a degree that you don't want us to just, think above. You want all of us to think the exact same thing. Not me.
Heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently. We sit at the intersection of being Black and being women. And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us. And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too. I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses. And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong?
Okay. No one is mad for women going into schools and then getting a degree. Do your thing, sis. Not a lot of men don't really care if the woman has a degree. How is that hate? Who told you that Black men are mad that women are going to school and getting an education? That's not even a attack. That's a brainwashed topic, a brainwashed idea. That's insane. That's just stupid.
Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute pure self-hating little dick energy nonsense from that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent rays of his own ignorance, it is sad to me that he even gets an audience of Black men. Why are Black men right now saying, F Stephen A. Smith, we banning him, we not listening to his podcast, we're not watching his show anymore. That's what Black women do. We organize.
But you asked the question why.
Yes, tell me why.
So, by the way, I love the usage of adjectives.
I'm sure I messed it up somewhere.
But the answer to the question why is kind of twofold. Black men showed up. We were the third largest demographic voting for. You had Black women, you had Jews as a collective, and then you had Black men, somewhere between 74, 76% voting for Kamala Harris. And so, yeah, it's not a large number. We still are there. But the slippage you've seen is twofold. The first is that there's been no party, no group, which for the past 20, 30 years has taken the time to listen to Black men holistically. And many times we are spoken to about policy. That policy revolves around things like criminal justice. But
Weed.
And marijuana. But very rarely do we have wholesome, fulsome conversations about the Black men who are out there struggling to pay for early childhood education, child support, right? How that
wages.
The craziest thing is when you get locked up for child support, do you know that your child support continues to grow?
Of course.
Your driver's license gets suspended.
It's an unbreakable cycle.
It's an unbreakable cycle, right? I mean, just opportunities, STEM opportunities. So just having a holistic, fulsome conversation around Black men is something that hasn't happened. The other thing is, which is a question that we have to answer.
Before he continues it, usually I don't like this brother, but what he has said, I'm glad he has said it. You see, I don't like him, but I do agree of what he actually has said, because a lot of brothers out here are unable to pay child support, and then they go to jail. We can also say there's a lot of fathers out here who don't pay child support. They do deserve to actually go to jail. But the ones who are trying to make ends meet, and then the ones who are trying to be, involved in their kid's life, that's something that we don't talk about. And then I'm glad he actually had mentioned that, because I know a lot of guys personally who actually had gone to jail because of that, and then they are trying to be good fathers in any way possible. But I'm gonna let him finish what he actually has to say.
Hopefully, we'll untangle it over the next, 100 episodes.
Certainly while you're here.
Certainly while I'm here there are a lot of Black men who question whether or not they have the ability to breathe and lead in an era of Black girl magic.
I would say what I would add, because I disagree on the latter point, but I do agree to this one, which is I think Black men want the bag too. And we on the Democratic side don't talk enough, if at all,
or listen
about how I'm gonna help you prosper. What does prosperity for us look like? So if at every turn you're the deficit end of the equation, every turn somebody's got to do something for you, you're not making room. And one thing that Trump's Trump's talking points appear to do is to put you on track or on alignment with getting a bag. I don't think that is wholesale widespread.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, I think he does have issues with black women, but I also think the brother's also trying to get and maintain and grow a bag. And he's similar to a lot of the black Republicans who ideologically could not articulate anything worth mentioning, are out here caping because they're not in competition with Bakari Sellers or Andrew Gillum. But they're at the front of the line on that side because they're willing to say the things that white people think and don't get to say with license. But they got you, Cape and Clown, who's willing to say it.
Correct.
And they get rewarded for it.
But he looks like money. He smells like money.
Oh my! No, okay. You know what? I'm done. I'm done. I am done with this video. This was no. I refuse. Man, that one guy, he was on point when he was talking about black men don't be get in the space of them talking about the issues what they've been thinking. Man, that's crazy. And then because like there's a lot of black women who want to be in that male role, going to college, getting the degree, getting the bag, first of all, and you say you disagree with what he has said. There's a lot of females on TikTok and on the internet. Shoot, I know females in my personal life who say, "Oh, I don't need a man because I got money and such." Like, that's a real thing. And then for you to say like, "Oh, how can you help me get the no, bro." Like, so you want to have spoon-fed energy, spoon-fed privileges because you think white men do it? Like, this is just crazy, man. Like, again, you guys can have your own opinion. I refuse to be a victim. I refuse to be mentally bondage when it comes to this stuff. Yes, there are racist people out here. That is a real thing. Don't get it twisted. There are some racist people out here. But for you to think all this stuff is through hate, self-hate. Stephen A. Smith hates black women. He has a daughter. How does he hate black women? This whole panel is stupid. Anyways, if you guys really enjoyed this reaction today, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, and share. Let me know in the comment section down below what you want me to react to next. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, my name is Russell, and I'll see you guys next episode. Peace.